Let's see. Let's see. Hello, folks. Back again. Let's see. Outside Ireland and Tilga could hear the ongoing battle in the city. The escape from the docks had resulted in the guerrillas splitting up through the streets, getting... I don't know why I sneeze. I'm getting into many small battles. Getting into many small battles that... many battles through many smaller battles. It sounded like one big offensive through the city to Ireland. I was quite familiar with city battles back in the earlier war. I was quite familiar with city battles. We had seen plenty of them. In the east and west. Why the hell am I so gassy? Why? I had one thing for breakfast. Didn't even have a cookie or a bit of ice cream or anything. Nothing. Just all I had, a fish dinner. Fried fish, macaroni and cheese. That's all. Apparently that's too much for my stomach to handle. Little baby stomach. Burp up some undigested food every now and again. I don't know. Let's see. That's your skin. There was the rattle of MG fire, the popping of rifles and SMGs, the occasional boom from a falling mortar shell, a bigger boom from artillery. People were having quite a fight out there beyond Ireland and Tilga cells. There was no window through the cell. There was no window at the cell. Criminy. There was no window at the cell. I didn't snap at anybody for interrupting my writing session, but still, I was annoyed. Had to restart it. I thought I made some good points, but, you know, barely any ranting. Let's see, there was no window at the cell. There was no window at the cell. The funny thing is, I was interrupted to see a thing on John List, that jerk who murdered his whole family and then disappeared for 20 years. So now John List, he can add murdering my writing session to his list of crimes. Thank you, John List, you asshole. I'm glad you're dead. Is he dead? I don't know. I don't care. If he's alive, good. Then he can suffer some more. Person who murders their whole family, they deserve the worst suffering imaginable. You know, what kind of suffering innocent people have. They get cancer and suffer for months and then die horribly. I wonder if John List died of cancer. Maybe. There was no window at the cell. There was no window at the cell. And even if there was, it probably would have only contained a view of the walled-in courtyard. Did I have a window? I'll have to check later. Window. Well, 20. Was Telga born in 20? I'll have to check her age. She might be younger than that. Let's see. This is 1948. So yeah, someone born in 1920. They're almost 30. Shows how long ago 1920 was. Let's see, generation interlude. The interwar generation. Well, interwar doesn't really fit if you only count world wars in Europe, in this universe at least. There was a world war in South America between the Kaiser's War and the equivalent of World War II in our universe. Kind of a forgotten war, I guess. You know, like the Korean War, or I guess the Vietnam War was forgotten for a while, but that was because people didn't like to think about how disastrously that war went for us, you know? I think today people are finally, like, accepting of the idea that we haven't had much success, that America hasn't had much success at war since World War II. And we gotta remember, World War II, we were successful because, you know, like, we had a lot of allies, and the Nazis made a lot of bad decisions, so did the Japanese and Italians, and they were also fighting the Soviet Union, which was quite powerful back in that time. You know, I think they did eventually smash through and killed the majority of Nazi Germany's army. You know, it wasn't. I mean, we played our part too. You know, it's just. I'm not sure. You probably offend a lot of people if you said the Russians won World War II, because we lost a lot of men. You know, not as many as them, but still, like 200,000 KIA. That's quite a lot of people. That's still a lot of people. I mean, what more can you say? You know. See, there was no window in the cellar, and there was probably one container view of the wall and courtyard around the mansion. Was the courtyard around the whole thing? It seems minor, but great indigestion. Probably stress because of the damn internet going out. Oh, and the internet kicked out just then. Yeah, I'm just gonna show a stupid message that I can't tell to go off. Like, this IP is conflict or something like that. Like, I give a hoot. Like, I need that little message. I wish I could just disable all the useless little messages this computer gives me. But you know. Let's see. Are we better off than those people out there fighting for their lives? Loves, I almost said. But loves isn't the right term. Are we better off than those people out there fighting for their lives? Telga asked Ireland. Probably not. Replied. For the most part, those people have their destiny in their hands. They can fight and survive. We're defenseless. Let's down here at the mercy of our enemies. Naked in every sense of the word. Hope I'm not getting too wordy from reading that Lord of the Rings book. Every chapter so far has been pretty much mostly talking. I prefer action. I prefer action to words. And, I'd rather be writing about all those popping noises, like showing that battle instead of just mentioning it here. That's the way I roll. I write the most difficult stuff because I like to challenge myself. If I was writing regular stuff, just... Oh, you should have seen this battle. It was so amazing. Yeah. I've never seen anyone kick so much ass in my life. Yeah, well. I'd rather show that person kicking ass. I assume readers would, too. I wonder how many readers are like me that groan when they cut away from the action. I would prefer to see the fight, damn it. Let's see. Yeah, escape seems unlikely. screen keeps changing the background. It's another one of those things I don't want the computer to do, but I couldn't find the option to turn it off, you know? It's like, ugh, yep, just do whatever the hell you want, computer. That was said. Admitted. Helga was kind of decent as she sat there. She had her legs up to her. She had her knees up, covering her chest and body. She also had that long hair. Check. Long hair that flowed about her body, like the way Eve did in those old paintings. The hair falling and happening, and just happening, fitting to cover up anything naughty. Hair falling, just happening to cover up anything naughty. Arlen, completely hairless, besides his eyelashes and the various hairs were apparently inside the body, like in the throat. Let's see. Started that next page a little early, word. Why? I don't know. Let me hear his lines. So he didn't have any hair to cover himself up. He did have 4 arms. So he could cover up with those if he needed to. Oh, and forget rescued by your wife. Helga started. She doesn't get the wrong idea seeing us sitting together like this. Yes, totally stark naked. Well, you could sit over off in the corner if you want. Arlen replied with a smile. The moment were scandalously close to physical contact. Bare skin against bare skin. Tilda nodded. I'm quite comfortable with this stuff. This isn't like a full-blown sex scene or anything. It's just a little weird when characters are naked, you know? But, you know, try to avoid nudity. I think nudity narms up the story, usually. Especially when it's in an inappropriate situation. Sexy as that is, you know? It's like, you know, those Japanese anime shows, like, in the West, they come up with all these weird reasons for characters to get naked. But in anime, they're just naked because they're taking a bath or a shower or something. Yeah, that's, well, yeah, that's, you know, 9 times out of 10, that's when people are naked. Or when they're showering. I mean, or when they're, you know, having sex. And yes, the West can learn something about storytelling from the Japanese. Let's see. Oh, we're 14 minutes in. Well, we'd be over now if we didn't have to delete that first writing session because of the interruption by John List. Yeah, the ghost of John List himself came into my room and bothered me. And I said, "Fuck you, John List. You murdered your whole family, you prick." Even Adolf Hitler would be disgusted by that, probably. Oh, sorry for the strong language there. I've used the F word liberally since I was 5. Bearskin against bearskin. How are you feeling? Hilda. Carolyn asked. What do you mean? Hilda asked back instantly. Are you in pain? Are you cold? Carolyn asked. Clarified. Strangely, even without my chem packs. Chemicals? Is it chemicals or drugs? I feel no pain, Hilda said. My skin is not dehydrating rapidly or cracking. I feel pretty normal in general. I feel pretty normal in general. It's so strange. I should be in agony, but I'm not. Maybe it's your condition is not as bad as you think. Alan replied. Hilda put some. It's like there's noises in the background, like pay attention to me, pay attention to me. Ooh, I'm going lying down in bed. Ooh, all this stuff. When I get so annoyed. I'm trying to it's so annoying, isn't it, folks, when you're concentrating on something and you hear noises in the background. It's like the world is saying, pay attention to me, daddy, and you say, shut up. Just be quiet. I wonder if any writer's ever written in a mausoleum. Maybe maybe you'll get some peace and quiet there. People won't complain about you making noise in a mausoleum. Let's see. Are there mausoleums where the coffin is just lying out in the open? Not in a vault or anything? I don't know. I think maybe that's what I would prefer. Though maybe that would be unhygienic. Maybe it'd smell bad. But if I came back from the dead, if I was the first person in real life who ever rose from the dead, then I could just open the coffin lid. I wouldn't be trapped in some crypt, like, you know, in the open air. I wouldn't be trapped in some crypt or underground or something, you know. Put some hands through her hair. She looked flustered. Just because I've managed to regrow my hair and eyebrows. That doesn't mean I'm anywhere close to being normal again. Helga said. Maybe I can go about. Maybe I am healthy enough now to walk around like this without getting an infection and dying. That doesn't mean I'm normal. I'm certainly not. But I don't even know if it was right to break through her delusion or right to indulge her delusion or try to shatter it. Now probably wasn't the best time. Arlen needed Helga in the right frame of mind. Needed Helga ready to act and help him. And he didn't need her to be neurotic. Neurotic, is that the right term? I don't need to look it up. I don't need Bing or the Magna Carta or whatever the hell else was on that list that just appeared. Anxious, fearful, disturbed, irrational, obsessed, phobic, hung up. The internet on this computer has gone off 3 or 4 times since this writing session's begun. This is hell on earth. Plus, my Fire Stick from Amazon isn't working. It doesn't pick up the internet for some reason. And the Fire Stick is hot. Is that the reason why it's called the Fire Stick? Because it feels like it's on fire after it's been on for like a few hours? It's an impressive piece of technology, don't get me wrong, but still. I used to watch YouTube on my Direct TV, but they changed it for some reason because, you know, that's the way of the modern world. If it ain't broke, you gotta fix it 100 times until it's broken, or something like that. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Don't be evil. Don't be a prick. That kind of stuff. Don't censor people. Let people say what they want. If the ideas are bad, they'll get ridiculed. If people hide underground, they're going to be like an echo chamber. You're going to get more and more toxic and crazy, and eventually you'll have like people going on rampage. There'll be an epidemic of crazy people, and no one will know where they're from because they didn't have any presence online. They were just underground, like people like mole people in a bunker until they finally snapped and decided to go out and kill somebody. And they never kill just one person these days. No, it's always gotta be a dozen people. You gotta take a dozen people with you to the next world. Try to become infamous, but these people aren't even infamous anymore. Nobody remembers these killers because there's been so many of them since Columbine. It's like if somebody doesn't kill 100 people, nobody's gonna remember that they did shit. Jesus Christ, it's just so terrible, all this stuff. Though, we look at the past with rose-tinted glasses. Like, there weren't any rampage killers. Nope, there were plenty of them back in this era. Like Charles Starkweather. He was a famous one. And there was a school shooting in Canada in the 80s, I believe, where a guy killed a bunch of women. He was some kind of misogynist. Was it misogynist or misandrous? Misandrous, I think, just someone who hates humanity. Yeah. Hopefully we won't have any more massacres that are very huge and terrible like the recent ones we've seen. Like the one in Vegas. The Vegas is the one I'm thinking of. Where the guy attacked that concert and it got killed. Crazy. They didn't need her to be neurotic. I still have all those painkillers. I still need those drugs. Like I said, I became very addicted to such things, to painkillers during my treatment. I can't just stop taking them all at once. My body thinks I need them to live like water or vitamin D. Withdrawal, yeah, I'm agreed. So far, a lot of talking in this writing session, but yeah, it was the same with the earlier one, because I had this whole book so far had been boom, ba boom, ba boom, ba boom, ba boom. We do need the occasional moment to stop and catch our breath, even in an action-packed thing. Even a Michael Bay film has moments where everyone stops to catch their breath and just talks, just sitting, talking, that kind of stuff. I'm not sure what's the proper term. A breather scene? That's what I usually refer to it as. It's a breather. Stop and catch your breath. Okay. It's like that moment between the boxing rounds where the guy is sitting in the corner, getting some water, and the coach is talking to him, patting him on the shoulders, giving him a little back rub or something. I don't know. Giving him some pointers. I would make a very good boxing coach. I'd say, okay, hit him hard. That's your objective. Let's see. So, yeah. These Jade talk of torture. Torture. They should see. Attack of torture. Telga said. Without my drugs, my own body will put me through the greatest of torture. Sure, if I don't get fresh drugs for it in a few hours. Yeah. Arlen said. Agreed. I think of the opium wars in Wu. Helga said. Ram mused. You addict 50 million Wuians to opium, and then the British Chromish say they're going to clamp down on the opium trade. Of course, the millions of addicts would rise up in revolt. What were they thinking? I don't know. I replied. Oh, and probably wouldn't have let the opium trade flourish to begin with. If it was his decision. It wasn't just one, obviously. Obviously, it wasn't just one person behind the decision to flood Wu with opium. Just like it wasn't one person behind the Jade War or any other terrible war in history. Arlen Telga heard some Jade coming. Looks like I'm off to see the ball buster soon. Arlen said. Thought he said nutcracker. Helga replied. I don't know. Owen muttered. Arlen wondered if her addiction to drugs was real. Was that just psychological too? Like her damaged skin? I wonder if her addiction to drugs was real. Was that just psychological? Like her? That just psychological? Or was it real? Or was it psychological? Like her damaged skin? Don't need to... Okay, folks, 28 minutes in. See ya. Have a nice day. Good luck to you all.